Oh, hi. Welcome to the Who Dares Rolls TV. Hello, and we're back. Yes, we've been on a small sojourn because stuff's been going on, and I'm back. Hopefully, for a more regular schedule of our usual level of board gamey nonsense. So we've been away, and stuff's happened. Not much of any interest, but we'll catch up on a few nuggets of news that have occurred. So, Talisman, the Games Workshop and FFG split saw Talisman possibly lost forever to gaming. Now, Talisman is a beloved game of certain gamers. It's been around forever, since the 80s. It's a roll and move game, really. It's kind of like Robert E. Howard's Conan meets Monopoly. So what's happened? Well, there's some fresh news on the horizon, and up to now everyone's been desperately scrambling to pick up the last of the 4th edition revised prints by FFG as they kind of disappeared out of existence and the secondary market was on full robbing mode. Well, forget all that, because Coiled Spring Games have announced this week that they in fact will be distributing the revised 4th edition FFG game. It's coming out from Games Workshop under their mantle, but as far as we can tell, it will be the classic 4th edition of Talisman back in its thing. Now, they're bringing out about 6 expansions and the base game in October. There will be the city and some of the small box expansions like the Reaper and Blood Moon. But yes, Talisman's coming back. How lovely. Beloved by some, loathed by others. We love a bit of Talisman, especially a spot of epic Talisman. And I challenge you at any time to the opportunity at a convention, then a game of epic Talisman is no better way to spend 8 hours of your life. Trust me. So there's that. Dead of Winter. So Dead of Winter, huge, big popular success. One of my favourite zombie games. Captures the genre very well of the survivors in the zombie apocalypse and focuses where it should do is on the actual human survivors and not so much the zombies, because they're kind of boring and dead. So there's already one expansion out, Longest Night. They've also announced the Warring Colonies expansion, which will combine both those base games together into some massive, huge game that 6 hours of play. But just recently, only in this last week, there has been snippets and snurgles of information coming out of another Dead of Winter game or game set in that universe coming from Plaid Hat Games. However, this is a really bizarre release schedule. They've sent it out to a certain select bunch of people, and just randomly, as far as we can tell, this copy it's like a traitor mechanic hidden role game, and it comes packaged. They haven't paid anything for these, and it comes with free codes, which those people then share, a bit like a chain letter, and those people redeem the codes, and they get sent a copy of the thing. No reviews really have emerged yet of the game or anything in any substantial, because it's literally sort of fresh on the street this week. It's kind of like this viral marketing, I use the term thing, all based around Raxon Chemicals, which is the company that allegedly set in place the zombie epidemic in the original game. You can go to the Raxon website, which has been set up, which is kind of like a IRP, ARP, sort of alternate reality roleplay type thing. You can go in and hack the computer and mess around with it. These codes, don't know, they're sort of popping up all over the place. We will be keeping a firm and steady eye on this one. It's, if nothing else, an interesting gimmick for seeing the game being sold on the market. And if we can get our hands on a copy of it, then we will most certainly give you a review and rundown of that. So that's nice. First Martians from Portal Games. Our buddy Ignacy Chevacek that's just shipping now. The pre-orders of that was started last year are actually just shipping out to people. So it's an app-based version of kind of like a retheme of Robinson Crusoe, which sees instead of you building your colony, this colony's already built and it's slowly disintegrating around your ears as you desperately try and keep it running in order. Mars is a hot theme at the moment. This based on a cracking game of Robinson Crusoe. If you've not played it, it's a mercilessly horrible bastard of a game. It will beat you down, but it's a fascinating game to play. The idea and the theme behind First Martians does grab me. I'm quite interested. May well be having to seek that one out pretty soon. And as speaking of as speaking of Ignacy, he's recently caused a little bit of a ruckus. He's posted on his blog, which if you've not read, Board Games That Tell Stories, which there's also some books he's done over there. But yes, Board Games That Tell Stories, he's a blog on BGG, which seek it down, I'll put a link on here. Recently put out a post regarding people playing games once and making some proclamation on it. You know, I played this game once and it's unbalanced. So he's a publisher and designer, and you know, and if you've read any of his blogs and his books, then you know he spends a great deal of time working and play testing his games until he's got them to the point where, you know, they're ready to be released into the wild. And he's taken these people to task. Reviews are kind of the chop, all sorts of interesting stuff. It's ruptured out into the ether on forums and on BGG, and some heated debates have taken place. Go and track it down, have a read of it, see what your feelings are on the matter. What do you think? You know, we are in this age of one play and done sort of at the moment, where games don't really get a chance to breathe, and in my opinion a board game needs time to breathe. You need to get it to the table and you need to play it and play it again to slowly uncover its strategies. But yes, we are in this I want it now and I want it fast and I want to move on. So here's see what comes of that, I suppose. But yes, interesting. Go and read that one. It kept us entertained, made us chortle, and then throw your comments in on it, either on Ignacy's blog or anywhere else, even in our own guild, which you can find off the main Who Dis Rolls webpage, which if you don't know where that is, then really there's no hope for you. So Gen Con is kind of hits at the end of the month, and a big one for the game industry. Lots of new games always release at that time of year. So what we expect, we don't really know much more now at the moment. FFG obviously will be there with their Star Wars stuff. We know for definite there's the Imperial Assault Coruscant expansion, Heart of the Empire. There's also the expansion of Rebellion that they're putting out. But the question as everyone's lips is when are we going to hear about the Imperial Assault app, which Descent's obviously had for about a year now. So FFG are notoriously tight-lipped, sneaking out little snippets of information and usually drop one bombshell or two as they go through. So we'll be watching closely as what they've got up their sleeves this year. And of course, as always with the Gen Con and any of these launches, there's always exciting things that we're not even aware of that pop out. So we will be doing some coverage in regards to Gen Con when it happens. So keep your eyes peeled, and if you hear anything, obviously drop us a line. Coming up, there's a podcast episode going to be in the bag soon. New format we're looking at the podcast, so we'll see how that plays out. That's coming. There's also some reviews lined up, lots of reviews. I've been rubbish in my reviewing, so I'll be cracking onto this. But this was just really an opportunity of a quick chance to play catch up and say, hi, we're still alive here. And hopefully there'll be some more regular content, more regularly than we've currently been getting. In the meantime, continue playing board games more than once. It's always a good idea. Or if you're going to play it just the once and eBay it, don't tell Ignacy, or he's liable to come around and punch you in the throat. And on that bombshell, we're out of here. Have fun gaming. It's sunny out, but you should probably play board games. You don't want to get out in the sun. Not good for you. Unhealthy.